All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for real people just like you and me. Another sad day in the world of rock music, as one of my favorite guitar players has passed away. His name is Paul Cotton. You may not know Paul, but Paul was in the band Poco for many years, and he and Rusty Young were a great tag team of songwriting and singing. Paul Cotton was a lead vocalist, as was Rusty Young. What they would obviously tend to do is if Rusty wrote a song, he would sing it. If Paul wrote a song, he would sing it. Paul Cotton, in my estimation, had the best Poco song ever. It's a little tune called In the Heart of the Night that he wrote, and a great saxophone solo, great pedal steel guitar work, great guitar solo. The whole song is a masterpiece. Other bands would dream of writing a song that good. Poco was just an amazing band in their prime. They still haven't got the credit they deserve, and now two of their key players are gone. Rusty Young passed away back in April, and now Paul Cotton. Paul Cotton started in a band called the Illinois Speed Press. And Danny Serafin, if you read his book about his time in Chicago, he talks very favorably about Illinois Speed Press and their music and their stage show, just everything about the band. They mimicked a lot of what Illinois Speed Press was doing at the time. I believe they were managed by William Guercio, which was the same guy who obviously got Chicago off the ground, and then made lots of money because Chicago didn't read the contracts. But needless to say, Paul Cotton, I would compare, I know this is going out on a limb, and I'm out on the limb by myself here. I would compare him favorably to a guy like Stephen Stills. That's where I would go with Paul Cotton. You would have to go back, listen to his work with Illinois Speed Press, listen to his work in the early days of Poco. Like I said, during the early days, he also brought a tune called Bad Weather with him, which again became a huge part of the Poco catalog and was a concert favorite for many years. But again, the thing about Paul Cotton is he worked really well with Rusty Young. They had formed this nice partnership when the band decided to kind of pare down their lineup a bit, because quite honestly, the Eagles kept stealing their bass player. So whether it was Tim Schmidt or Randy Meisner, Poco always sort of regrouped and carried on and didn't get the fame and fortune and accolades that a lot of other bands have received. In fact, Paul Cotton, I had to dig for this story. Somebody who doesn't even live here in the United States let me know that Paul had passed, and the rock media here is really quiet about this, and it's unfortunate. They would rather focus on like the glam metal stuff and the heavy metal from the 80s. Paul Cotton could play lead guitar with anybody, and he had a great voice, a great stage presence. He ended up retiring a number of years ago, and I think it even stunned Rusty Young that he wanted to leave and just hang out. I think he used to live in the Florida Keys, and I'm thinking that's where he spent his last days. And that was the kind of life he wrote about as well. So it was kind of cool that he kind of lived out the rest of his life in a place where he was probably most comfortable with. But again, Paul Cotton lived to the age of 78. Again, here, not to throw a little, I don't know, conspiracy into this, but no cause of death was given as of yet. Hopefully something will surface and we won't find out some stuff later on that won't make any of us very happy. But he lived to 78. That is pretty close to the life expectancy. I'm thinking, though, he was probably living the good life down in the Florida Keys. Anyway, Paul Cotton, one of the all-time great guitar players. And if you want to hear a great album, go listen to Poco's Under the Gun. It's the album that I purchased when I think I was 15 years old. All my friends had the long run. I thought the long run was boring and I'd heard it all. So when I had the Poco album, I'm like, hey, this is my alternative to your Eagles album, and hopefully they won't steal any more people for their band. And sure enough, they didn't. They already had who they needed. And I think Paul Cotton and Rusty Young probably wanted to put a stop to that. Anyway, that's it. It's really sad, but there you go.